Since 2003, the Trackmania series has been quenching the thirst of speed freaks around the world with their esports-friendly approach to multiplayer and content sharing. The most recent iteration of the series, called Valley, seeks to draw in rally enthusiasts with a new physics engine, off-road environments, and the introduction of Steam Workshop support. Does Valley have what it takes to live up to the Trackmania pedigree, or does it just get stuck in the mud? For those not familiar with the Trackmania equation, the game works simply enough. Get your car from start to finish and hit every checkpoint along the way. Get around the fastest, and the game bumps you up the leaderboard as you compete on a state, national, continental, and global level. There are no damage penalties or car-on-car contact to speak of. It's just you and the road, an even playing field for upwards of 100 players to simultaneously battle for the top time and a spot on the podium. Despite the game's appearance of constant, mindless speeding around tracks with near infinite amounts of grip, Valley has a steep learning curve. New and experienced players will need time to get used to the way cars handle on the new surfaces they're driving on, many requiring a high degree of throttle and steering management. Because of this, keyboard and mouse players will find themselves at a significant disadvantage, especially on tracks that are off-road or feature lots of narrow jumps. Imagine someone with Parkinson's disease trying to thread a needle, and you've got a basic idea of what driving around in Valley with a keyboard feels like. While it's detrimental to the general appeal of the game, serious players should be playing racing games with a gamepad or steering wheel anyway, so this isn't a big issue to gripe over. Players with the right equipment, though, will eventually find themselves settling into a comfort zone of control, provided they've set their sensitivity and dead zones accordingly. Luckily, there is a single-player component to the game where newcomers can get themselves acquainted with the obstacles they'll face in multiplayer. You'll choose from 65 developer-created tracks where you can race against differently skilled ghosts and earn medals based on your best times. In multiplayer, you'll have a set amount of time and an unlimited amount of attempts to get your fastest track time above everyone else's. While there is no physical contact between players in any mode, it's worth mentioning that seeing dozens of cars on screen can be disorienting and will cause you to make an occasional mistake just because you happen to follow the pack of cars in front of you. Since the game has only 65 tracks, many of which can be completed in under 30 seconds, Valley boasts an editor mode where blocks of roadways are assembled to create unique and visually distinct tracks that can be played on servers without the need for a download. This is the true lifeblood of the game, allowing players to bring new challenges and experiences to even the most veteran of Trackmania elites. The freedom of servers being able to use their own tracks does come at a drawback though. While most tracks found online are meant to put players' reaction times and car control to the test, there are servers that will have players play mazes, tracks that have multiple possible routes with little or no indicators that tell which is the correct one. It can be entertaining watching players scramble to find an exit, but knowing that some players have memorized the route in advance hurts the balanced nature of the game. Equally as annoying, servers will put players on tracks that are so difficult that many and sometimes all of the participating players will be unable to reach the finish line due to extremely complex obstacles and the tiniest mistakes resulting in the most unforgiving of consequences. Thanks to Valley's sophisticated leaderboard system, such privileged players will rarely benefit from racing these kinds of maps, since the amount of ladder points, or LP, they receive to increase their rank at the end of a race is dependent on the rank of their opponents, their position on that track's results, and the number of players that actually finished with a time. In addition to having their own custom maps, servers can set up incentives in order to attain a loyal player base, including having a custom streaming radio station in place of the in-game music, and lotteries at the end of races where random players are awarded with planets. Planets are a form of currency that can be used throughout all games in the Mania Planet series. They can be used to purchase custom content from other players in the form of new car models, tracks, skins, and you can even donate some to your favorite server. And don't worry, planets are not purchased through microtransactions. You simply earn them by playing the game. Visually, the game is a sight to behold. With a powerful new engine that was introduced with Trackmania 2 Canyon, Valley achieves this fidelity with pinpoint accurate lighting and modeling at extreme draw distances. Beautiful reflections on the surfaces of lakes and sunsets casting long shadows bring the game's visual package together seamlessly, all while being able to run above 60 frames per second on even mid-range gaming PCs. Frankly, it would have been nice to see more damage from the cars or a splash when you carelessly barrel your car into a small pond, but the developers obviously had a goal to make the game look good without having too many distractions to look at. Unfortunately, Valley does fall a bit short in the sound department. There aren't a whole lot of unique sounds to speak of. Being able to hear different sounds based on what surface you're driving on is nice, but there are very few unique crashing sounds. Engine sounds can be customized by the player, but the default engine has a nice, beefy rumble to it. Players can even add their own horns to the game, although you'll probably get annoyed after someone in your server makes their car play the trollololol song. Valley's selection of in-game music will certainly put you in the mood for racing, just as long as you can put up with hearing the same song every few tracks or so. As a package, Trackmania 2 Valley may seem a little dry on content, but as long as servers are running with players to fill them, the game will retain an infinite amount of replayability. At $20, it might be a bit of a stretch for some that are unfamiliar with the Trackmania series, so maybe a $10 purchase of the recently released Stadium setting is in order. But overall, Valley will be a welcome addition to any Trackmania fans' collection, and is just enough of a change to take the crown as the must-have Trackmania game. New players to the series will find a kind of racing unlike anything they've played in racing games before, and Valley has hit the balance with this one right in the sweet spot.